Hi, I'm Jay Polding. We're going to be talking about splitting columns, and you can either do this by making them slanted or using coordination monitor. We're going to start with making the column slanted. So right now, if we were to use the split tool on this column, it won't let us because it's a vertical column. So if I just click on the column and I change its column style to slanted, angle driven, either one, now for some reason, I don't know why, but now I can hit split element and I can just splice those columns. Now it's telling me here that I can't keep elements joined because that brace thinks it's attached to that column, and obviously it's not. But it won't get rid of it. It'll unjoin the brace from that particular column. Okay, so now we'd be able to click on one of the columns and swap that out. So what about using coordination monitor? And why would we use this? Well, you don't want to have to go around and individually split each column. That could be very tedious, especially if you had a very large amount of columns to do. So one way you could do that would be to use a coordination monitor. Now it is a workaround, so there's a number of steps that you have to do in order to get to this. So if I click on the columns, I'm just going to click on these ones here. And let's group those. Okay, so we'll just say OK to that. We'll call it columns and say OK to that. The reason why I'm grouping it is because I want to be able to get at it quite easily. I also want to save it out as a separate file, as a separate Revit file. So if I go down to groups in the project browser, we can save this group out as an RVT file. So just right click and hit save group. Okay, so we can give it a name same as the group name and just say save. Now we're going to bring that file back in. So if I go to Insert, Link Revit, we're going to link those columns back in origin to origin. And they're going to snap right into the same place. Now if I click on that, that's the group. I'm just going to right click and hide it. So now you can see there is the link. So if we click on the link, we can do this thing called copy monitor, and that's found under collaborate, copy monitor, and then select link. So we can just select that link we brought in. Then if we go to options, columns, we can choose to split the columns by levels. Just click on that checkbox and OK. Then we copy the objects, so we would just copy multiple, finish, and then remember to go back to copy monitor and hit finish again. It's just a little quirk with that. So now you can see here we have columns that are individual per level. Now you might want to just get rid of that link as well. We don't need it anymore. So I'll just go to manage links, columns, and I'll just totally remove that. Yes, and OK. Okay, so there we go. So now you can use these just as independent columns again. You can see that the braces remained. So at this point you may want to take that opportunity and just reconnect it to the center of that column. Okay, what about the group? Well, we can also reveal that group and just click on it, right click, and we can delete that as well. So you do at one point you actually end up with a group, you end up with the link, and then you end up with the copy. So you end up with 3 copies. So you have to get rid of 2, and now we're just left with what we need. If there's a case where they aren't spliced exactly at the levels, you could try bringing it into yet another file, splicing it at sort of your own levels that you make in another secondary file, and then bring that in again here. But this is sort of the gist of how to split these columns quickly.